Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I am Serena and today I have a new Earth intuitive astrology update for the new moon in Cancer. Watch this video. Okay, welcome back everybody. So new moon in Cancer. What a beautiful time of the year. And if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, then we all know that you have also just celebrated the summer solstice. If you are in the Southern Hemisphere, like myself, you have just gone through the longest night or the winter solstice. So whichever it is that you are, those can have two different implications. But without getting too much into that, most of my viewers are in the Northern Hemisphere. So with this summer solstice comes this idea that things are really in full bloom. You know, we're getting the most illumination, the longest day, right? The most fruition. The magic is happening quickly. I'll give you a quick example. So I've been house sitting and dog sitting for 5 dogs, and we will be doing this until the 29th, which is funny because it's the full moon, or the new moon is the 28th, 29th. So in this time, we have needed to look for an apartment to stay after we stay at this house. So we've been looking and not finding anything. So I decided to sit down, I kid you not, like 3 days ago, I sat down and I journaled everything that I would want to have in like my most ideal apartment, down to like the number of bedrooms, down to the type of bathroom and bathtub that I would want, down to the direction I want the house to face, because I want the most sun coming in. If you've watched some of my other videos, I'm very particular about my morning routine, so I need to have the sun coming in like a certain direction. And so I was writing down everything that was on like my dream wish list, okay? And then looking at what were logical prices, what was the logical price point for that. And so everything we were looking at was way more expensive and didn't include water and electricity and Wi-Fi, and a lot of them were not furnished, which were only going to be there for a couple of months. So it's like we don't want to buy all our own furniture. So I wrote all of this down. And I go onto the internet and I am on Facebook Marketplace and I see this one place and I'm like, oh, that's it. And in 2 days, we have now visited this place. When I went there, it was for a certain price, and I asked the guy, can you include the water and the electricity? And he was like, okay, fine, throw it in. And then as we were walking out, he was like, oh yeah, do you have your own like Wi-Fi system? And I was like, no. And he was like, okay, fine, I'll include that too. And I was like, oh my God. So in the same price that we are paying for the apartment, we do not have to pay extra water, we do not have to pay extra electricity, we do not have to pay for our own Wi-Fi, none of that. And it has literally, it's a north-facing house, which means we get the sun all day, has a beautiful bright area, it's in a secure neighborhood so I can go for walks, like the entire thing manifested. So this might be what you're noticing now, is like you are having manifestations come in a lot quicker, or you are actually putting time to reinvite those ideals or those or you are actually taking the time to write down or to focus on, to refocus your energy on what you want to actually create consciously moving forward. So with this new moon in Cancer, I always like to say full moons are all about what are you releasing, what are you sowing from what you have planted on the new moon. And then new moons are all about planting seeds, right? So new moons are all about planting the intention. If you think about it, right, on a full moon, you see the entire moon. On a new moon, you don't see the moon at all, which means it's hidden. So I always think of the womb, right? You think of this darkness, a dark sky is very womb-like. And with that, what you have is potential. So you have lots of potential. Anything can be created from this space. So new moons are an amazing time to focus yourself on what you want to see in the next months or weeks going forward. So it's a great time for manifesting. It's a great time for realigning yourself with your vision, your energies. And this new moon in Cancer. So Cancer, as an archetype, is all about being the great mother. So Cancer is the great mother, Capricorn is the great father. So when we look at Cancer signs, we're looking at how are we nourishing ourselves? How are we nourishing others? How are we showing up in the world? Cancer is a water sign, so how are our emotions? And with this specific moon placement in Cancer, what we're going to see a lot is that creativity, right? Again, going back to the womb, the mother is the womb, the water is the womb. All of that signifies the womb. And what is the womb? The womb is creation. So in this new moon, it's about letting that creative side out, letting that spontaneous side out. Sometimes as a mother, we can become very repressed, or we can be overdoing or people pleasing or just doing too much. So this new moon is really asking, how do you want to balance the scales moving forward? How do you want to nourish yourself moving forward? How do you want to show up moving forward? What are you calling in based on your emotions? Where is your highest passion? Where is your highest joy? What is bringing you excitement? What creative projects have you been dying to start but haven't had the push to do that? This is a great time to initiate these creative projects and really to let yourself loose a little bit, to let yourself feel, to let yourself be free. So many good things about this new moon. And some things that I want to offer to you are potential journal prompt ideas. So if you are manifesting on the new moon, think about what your perfect day would look like. And me and my partner did this a couple weeks ago on another new moon. And I kid you not, instantly after that, so he didn't have a job, and I sat with him and we sat together and I made him tell me his perfect day, beginning to end. Like, how do you wake up? What do you eat for breakfast? What time are you going to work? What does your house look like? This is a great time for manifesting things within the house, right? So if there's projects you're working on, if there's updating that you're trying to do within the house, this is a great time for that. So journal. What projects are you trying to get done for your house? Where are you trying to make more money so that you can afford a bigger house, or that you can afford the couch you've been looking for, or things of that nature? And so journal down your entire perfect ideal day. Like, what job would you be doing if it's not the job that you're doing now? What would you be doing? How would that make you feel? And really meditate and live in that day as if it were your day now. And this is such a beautiful practice to get you in the energy of what you want to create moving forward. And new moons are the perfect time that make those manifestations go so much quicker. So take this time, sit down, journal your perfect day, your perfect house, your perfect work conditions, how you would feel, how you would take care of yourself. And maybe this has to do with like a beauty routine, you know? How do you nourish yourself? Does it have to do maybe having an Epsom salt bath? And what would that smell like? What would it feel like? How would it soothe you? Or even just things as far as like your own mothering and your own parenting. And another journal prompt would be to sit with yourself and meditate and bring up your own mother. And when I say your own mother, I don't actually mean your physical real life mother. I mean the mother that you wish you were to yourself. So when things get hard, when things don't go your way, when you're feeling sad, when you're feeling anxious, when you're feeling lost, write down all the qualities that this universal or this spirit mother would bring to you, and begin to connect with her. And you can do this via your higher self, because your higher self essentially is your eternal mother. This is the person that will, or the entity or the spirit or whatever you want to call it, that will love you unconditionally no matter who you are, what you do, how you're feeling. Your higher self never abandons you. And so your universal mother or your own creative mother, your own soul mother will never abandon you. They always have the right thing to say, right? So this is about learning now to also reparent, to let go some of the society standards on what mothering looks like. For mothers, for so long, we're known as just the child bearers. We weren't actually sovereign unto ourselves, unto our own creations. So many women have underlying frustration that comes with motherhood because it doesn't seem like it's for ourselves, right? So there's an idea here that what can we create, what can we mother, what can we birth into the world that feels that is truly our own creation, that is truly our own sovereign divine truth, our own will going into the earth, going into the atmosphere, going into nature, going into our own creative right? So it's such a beautiful energy to be able to create something spontaneous, to be able to birth your own truth into the world. Maybe you're working on projects, maybe you have an art project, maybe you're doing a poetry project, maybe something creative, maybe you're decorating the inside of the house. I know I have been planning what I'm going to use the spare room for in our next apartment. So many things that we can get creative in a very wild and like spontaneous way, how we can use natural elements, how we can do what is in alignment with not only ourselves, but also Mother Earth, right? So you have this mothering energy with the earth as well. And that's also exactly what this new moon is all about. So thank you so much for being here with me. Please, if you have questions, comments, concerns, put them down below. I would love to hear from you. And also just know that if you're looking for any one-on-one coaching, if you'd like to sign up for my free bi-weekly women's meditation circle, you can go to my website. I'll put all the information down below so you can sign up. We'd love to have you there. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Big love, Serena.